Hello, hens. How are we all diddly doing? How's everybody holding up? Yes, I've got pink hair. And I've got a new I was just about to say 2023 is my year, but I've just been attacked by my brand new coffee mug. Not spawned, but look at the size of it. One thing about me, I love big things. Don't take that out of context. Here's my big water mug, and here's my big coffee mug. Anyway, a big trend on TikTok at the minute is things about X that altered my brain chemistry, and I thought, you know what has had like the most impact on my brain development? The Sims. Is that sad? No, because I have autism, so it's actually quite natural. I have a virtual life. The Sims has been my special interest since I taught myself to use a computer to play The Sims, so there's lots of things about her that just impacts me. And you know what, babe? Not all of them are positive. So today, I'm going to be going through things in the Sims franchise that altered my brain chemistry. I don't mean to pull a Vic Seller with a Christmas blanket, but I am absolutely freezing, so Vic Seller it is. I do have trousers on, by the way. That looks like I don't have the trousers on, but look, they're proof trousers. Okay, so fun fact, we're actually in Photoshop at the minute because I did try to create a tier lit maker of this, and then I just kept uploading the same pictures over and over again, and then it wouldn't let me make a new one because it was like, this is a duplicate. Like, yeah, no, because I made it. I am the OG duplicate. It's meant lowness, isn't it? So I've made this. There's things in the Sims franchise that alter my brain chemistry. And you know what? I made it aesthetically pleasing. It's more aesthetically pleasing than Tea Maker. So sorry, Tea Maker, but I win this one today, right? Life's not a competition, but I'm winning against Tea Maker. So we have 5 categories. First off, neutral. No change occurred. And yes, I've went all out and I have put Sims icons to demonstrate how I feel about each of these. And this is just J fucking J. This is ironically, that's became unironic, like I do it genuinely lately. This is my new sign. It's contrary to my entire personality, but we soldier on. But yeah, this is my new sign. Like, yeah. J fucking J, besties. So yeah, neutral, babe, no change occurred. On the more positive end, we've got positive chemical changes, and that's a handshake, because it's a handshake between me and EA saying thank you for helping me have a little bit of happiness in my life. Props to like J fucking J, EA, do you know what I mean? But like a little bit more, just like yeah, I would like to give whoever came up with this concept of handshake. And then we've got change my entire outlook on life. This looks a little bit flirty, this one, and you know what? If I want to take it that way, if I am flirting with the sometimes I mimic characters in my videos and I don't know who that character was, but you know what, she might be here to stay. You never quite know, babe. But yeah, it looks a little bit flirty. If you want to take it that way, you can. I'm not looking for a relationship at the minute. If the next 2 expansion packs are good, babe, we'll talk. We will talk, and I will let you take me out on a first date. I actually put this picture because it's the closest icon that I could find that remind me of Debbie Ryan's. You know, if you want to have a double meaning, make The Sims 5 good, and then we'll talk. And then on the more negative side of things, negative chemical changes. This is the stuff that like, oh, didn't like that. It made me feel a little bit, ooh. That's got the Nino, because like alarm bells are ringing, do you know what I mean? But it's not quite like fully changed my brain chemistry. It's just negative thoughts. And then finally, we have genuinely negative physical and emotional response. This doesn't necessarily mean that something is bad, but that it's created something in my brain chemistry that associates that kind of thing with something like inherently bad. And obviously, I put 3 gravestones there because we all know I have trauma over death. So that always caused me negative. I'm opening up actually. So I put that there because that for me is like the worst thing that I could possibly think of. I stress out every time my parents take a nap, actually. The light inside these eyes is slowly down. I'm all right. It sounds really serious, like I'm genuinely okay. Maybe I'm too comfortable sharing on the internet, you know, but I'm not gonna stop. Just because I could doesn't mean that I should. You know what? I should take that maybe far over. You know what? Fuck it, babe. I'm saying I have trauma over death. Who hasn't? Anyone who's experienced loss has trauma over death. Moving on. We're just gonna start off strong. Right, first and foremost, the Sims 3 Seasons hair. Sims 3 Seasons was one of my favourite expansion packs that has ever been released. But the hair, it doesn't leave a lot to the imagination because you don't have the room for imagination when you just focused on those. I mean, what are there? What are there? I mean, to be fair, the Sims 3 hair in general, I'm not going to put this in a positive one, although I will say Sims 3 hair in general did change my entire outlook on life because that fully enmeshed me into the custom content world, where in the Sims 2, I could kind of get away without custom content. Sometimes even in the Sims 4, I can get away with custom content. In the Sims 3, I'm like, I need custom content to be able to make my Sims look good, because the Sims 3 nailed so many things. They did not nail the hair, although that hair looks like it should be nailed to a fucking crucifix and just left there for a while, and not in a Jesus type of way. So I'm going to put this in like negative chemical changes. If this is your type of hair, I'm not going to say it disturbs me, but it did disturb me a little bit. So that is that one. Meteor crashes in The Sims 3. When I experienced this, I had no idea that it even existed. I didn't know that it happened, and then suddenly Sims died. So do you know what? It sounds bad, but I'm going to put this this and changed my entire outlook on life. And there's a reason for this, right? I always say behind the scenes, like off camera, I'm a very family-oriented game player. I always do the same thing. I have a family, I have kids, whether I adopt them or have them, and then the kids go, one kid is always like the rebellious teenager. One kid is like, I'm super smart and I'm going to get into whatever school I want to get into. One kid is the throwaway. That sounds mean, but after two, my attention span just goes. So sorry to that third child. Rip. In peace or whatever. Go where this hair is going. But I do think that this changed my entire outlook on life, because before then, I'd always been, like I said, the same type of gameplay, very, not necessarily timid, but, you know, the same thing, not much happening. Mainly, sometimes I'd get a little bit bored of my Sims and then I'd make one of the parents have an affair or divorce or whatever. But this changed my entire brain chemistry with The Sims, because I think this was the beginning of the chaos era. Because even in The Sims 2, I didn't play with much chaos. The most amount of chaos I played with was probably aliens. And I had a great time. That was a great experience. I think this opened the door for chaos. So thank you to the asteroids or meteors. See if I can... GG bestie. Caleb Vitor. Now you might be thinking, change my entire outlook on life. Unfortunately, that man is not that powerful. However, he did elicit positive chemical changes, because I did not think when The Sims 4 Vampires released, in the grand old year of whatever year it was, he would bring forth my Twilight special interest. I thought I was done with the whole vampire loving situation. Like, I just thought I'd put the past behind me, built a bridge, soldiered on. I thought that interest took a long walk off a short pier, but this man came back to me. He reignited something in me. He kind of brought my vampire interest back. And now I'm reading a vampire book. It's not Twilight, because I'm not 13 anymore. But when I was 13, I made my friend go to the pictures with me and watch it on repeat. And I didn't even allow us to take toilet breaks because I was that enamored by the screen. So this is the type of experience I had before. So he didn't necessarily recreate that for me. He just brought those chemical changes back, and now vampires they're back on my mind. So thank you, Caleb, for your service. The Sims 4 hot tub tweet. Was this entire video inspired by the fact that I tweeted this? Yeah, and now we're here. So she honestly, I think I have a genuine negative physical and emotional response to this, because not only was The Sims 4 20th anniversary hot tub kind of like it was a controversial topic. She caused some change. You know, I remember the day she came out, because I had a Specsavers appointment, and I was thinking, oh God, honestly, I'm so stressed going to this Specsavers appointment, because what if something massive gets released while I'm at the Specsavers appointments? And then it was The Sims 4 hot tub. You know what, to be honest, I think if she was released now, I don't think she'd have the same type of reaction. But this was released pre-COVID, and then the hot tub happened, and then COVID happened. Do I blame the hot tub for that? I'm not saying she's innocent. Like, the world has been in crisis for years now, and it all happened after the hot tub. Next up, The Sims 4 on release. This is excluding Creator Sim. This is only including gameplay and like how the world looks and everything like that. You might think I'm going to put her in negative chemical changes, but no, I'm actually going to put her in genuinely negative physical and emotional response, because one fun fact about me is that I absolutely physically could not play The Sims 4 in any capacity until they introduced toddlers. So I didn't start playing The Sims 4 until years after its release. She genuinely, like, I couldn't stomach her. I tried her a couple of times. I could never get away with her. Got away with her now after quite a lot of updates, but The Sims 3 is still my baby. Flashback to like what year? 2013, maybe 2014. It came out that The Sims 4 would be in neighborhoods and the rest of the world would be closed off, and it would just be like little neighborhoods that you could walk about in. And I took that to mean that you could still go and visit people's houses. So at that point I was like, I do prefer an open world, but I could get away with that. And then Sims 4 released and you couldn't even go to other people's houses. And then I was just like, no, why would I do that when I can literally travel the world in The Sims 3 without a loading screen? At that time, it was like a 10-minute loading screen to get into The Sims 3. To this day, I think I'd still take that over multiple loading screens, because having to sit through a loading screen multiple times is just like, I will avoid going there. Or even if they just made the loading screens more fun, like anything apart from that dank blue background. The Sims 4 scenarios, what she could have been. I actually think that these could have been a lot better if they were more integrated into The Sims 4 rather than just being like a thing on the starting page. And I wish that player-made ones could be introduced. However, I kind of do like the introduction of them. It's something definitely different from The Sims 4, and it's a good way to take things that happen outside of The Sims, think of things in the wider things surrounding The Sims, like for example the 100 baby challenge, and implement them into The Sims. it's a good way to do stuff like that, kind of mixing the online world with the actual Sims games. However, they're just underperformed for me. I find that I never really reach for them, even though they're 100% my type of shit. I just don't find that they're invasive enough in your actual gameplay, which I suppose is a stylistic choice, so you can still play it without it probably impacting your gameplay. I think that they could have done more, and hopefully they will do more in like The Sims 5 and stuff like that. One of the main issues about The Sims 4 is that she's been running for so long that you kind of have to make everything built on the 2014 framework, so it wasn't built for something external that could really impact the game. However, hopefully in the future, in The Sims 5 is what I mean by the future. Right, I'm kind of going to put these two together. The Sims Burglar and The Sims 1 Fires. I'm going to say The Sims 1 Fires specifically because they were like the absolute worst fires out of any fires I've ever played with in any of the Sims franchise. As much as I absolutely love these, and I do think that these have a place in every Sims game, and I wish that they would never get rid of, I am going to have to put in genuinely negative physical and emotional response, and not because I dislike them, because I do like them. I love the gameplay aspect of them. However, since playing The Sims since I was too young to play The Sims legally, they have caused a physical and emotional response in me that now I am absolutely terrified of fires and also being burgled. And it's not even like obviously the burglar noise in The Sims elicits a response in me, but on a night I'm like, I have left the stove on. Maybe that's not actually to do with The Sims. That could 100% be the autism, but I do think it's inspired by this because I've seen how deadly they are. But yeah, I am terrified of A, getting robbed, and B, a fire. And isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? And I do think that The Sims is responsible for that. I do, actually. I just think it's so fun. I've been playing The Sims for too long, at too much of a young age. The Sims 3 game launcher. Honestly, I think she's a bitch. I think she's an actual bitch. She caused me so many issues. For a while, as soon as I clicked play, it would just crash. I had to take something out of the game files and put on my desktop just to be able to play The Sims 3. She absolutely haunts me. Sometimes she unchecks expansion packs without telling me. It was just, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. But I did like how you could see your downloads and pick and choose what downloads are installed. So I'm not going to put her in genuinely negative physical and emotional response. So we had some good times and we had some bad times, but they did absolutely cause a negative physical change. And I am scared of her, actually. I do think that she could beat me in a fight. The Sims 2 Exchange. Honestly, I really, I'm so happy that like The Sims is bringing in so many new people, but I really wish that they kept the Sims 2 website alive. This was YouTube, or like Sims YouTube and Sims Twitter, before those things existed, and I've really liked having a centralized place for it. One thing that changed the game for me, apart from like the store and the community and stuff like that, is the exchange. You could download people's houses and Sims and stuff. So this was like the early days of the Sims gallery. The main thing that kept so many people coming to The Sims 2 Exchange was the stories that you could upload. And you know what? I'm going to try and get it up now so I can show you. Oh my God, this is bringing me back. Exchange Sims, Exchange Stories, Exchange Lots. And this is kind of what it looked like. But the actual stories had a flick through thing like this. You know how this exists in The Sims 2? But you could upload these and then people would be able to flick through it. But there was some dark stuff on there. Like I remember reading a vampire story when I was like 10 years old. And then it actually had like Woohoo in it. So it had to get taken off the Exchange. And I had to go to a separate website to sit and read it, and I was much too young. Like that 100% should not have been on The Sims 2 Exchange, but that was good. It had a vampire called Tab in it. If anybody, please, I'm begging you, if anybody can remember this, let me know if the website is still up, or the website, or the name of the fic, or anything. And there was also a vampire one called 21, and it had Sethos Gates in it. Oh God, changed my entire outlook on life again with that vampire shit. Honestly, actually, a throwback. The Sims 2 website definitely changed my entire outlook on life, because the Sims 2 website is where I heard about Twilight, because vampire stories were very prevalent on the sims2.ea.com, and all of the comments were like, have you read Twilight yet? And you couldn't get it in the UK at all. I live quite close to Whitby, which if you don't know is where Dracula visited or was set or something. I've not read Dracula, so obviously a lot of it is very vampire themed. And my mum used to take me to Whitby, and we'd go in like every single bookshop and say, have you got Twilight? And then never had Twilight. And then a couple of years later the book got picked up into the film, and that's when I could finally read Twilight. Oh, good times. Honestly, good times. Gigi Julia, honestly, going the extra mile trying to engage in my special interests. Absolute angel. So yeah, I would say, yeah, it had a profound impact on my life, yeah. Next up, Cheese Hair. Honestly, I kind of put her to the back of my mind. I wish she didn't exist, but she also doesn't bother me that much. But I'm going to put her in neutral, no change occurred. At least we had an extra hair colour, do you know what I mean? When the hair swatches weren't that much, it just, did it have to be spent on a cheese one? I can put her to the back of my mind. She does not exist in my mind. Bella Goth, absolutely. You know what? I don't even think this needs an explanation. Changed my entire outlook on life. When I was a kid, I was 100% into conspiracies and mysteries and everything like that. I think that Bella is partially responsible for that. I would love to tell everyone the real reason why Bella Goth is missing, but I also know that it will break so many hearts to hear the real reason why Bella Goth's missing. So I don't know. Let me know if you want a video on that, because like it would break some spirits, you know. Very specific, but the Sims 2 turkey from The Sims 2, funnily enough, I don't know if this is positive or negative chemical changes, because he used to cook this for the headmaster. Like, even loved turkey, and it was the most expensive thing that you could cook. Now I'm like, if people don't have the most expensive turkey on the thing, I'm like, get better. So you know what, I'm probably going to put negative chemical changes, because it made me have a more pessimistic outlook on life. If you're not serving turkey, you're not getting into school. If you're not serving turkey, you are not my friend. The only meat that I miss is like not eating meat is I miss parmos, but they don't do vegan parmos. I miss parmos, but my top up there is kebabs, but there's just no vegan kebab. So I can't have that. I like turkey. I love turkey and stuffing, but also I don't miss a lot of meat, because a lot of meat, like vegan stuff's getting very, very good now. The only thing vegan stuff hasn't mastered is eggs, just in case anyone was wondering. The private school uniforms. Honestly, I think this had real positive chemical changes for me. I don't necessarily think it changed the outlook of my life. I think I had the potential to, because sometimes I've thought about like getting a Plumbella uniform just so I don't have to dress myself each day. I am a big supporter of school uniforms. Obviously, there's lots of issues with them, but I also think there's lots of issues with wearing your own clothes to school every day. You know what? I, however, do have an issue with the current school uniforms that are going a bit wild in the UK, because like every single piece has to be privately bought, and you can't just go to like Asda and get a cheap uniform. I think that, especially during the cosy live-out, that is very rude. Like, my niece has to wear a blazer to school. I mean, I did too, to be fair. My niece isn't special. There's something about the school uniforms in Sims 2, absolutely. I loved the red one. The red one was my favourite, but I think it's because red is my favourite colour. But it caused so many positive chemical changes, because my mum used to buy me colouring books, and I loved the Sims 4 uniform, Sims 2 uniform so much that in the colouring books, I'd colour everyone in to have the Sims 2 school uniforms. Definitely caused some positive chemical changes and great memories for me. Curved walls. Truly an innovation. However, I think that I am going to be neutral, no change occurred. Again, not to say I don't like them. I think they're a great addition into The Sims 4. I'm glad that we have them. Definitely think that we've been needing some kind of change to like the wall system, because the wall system has been pretty much the same for a long time now. However, I just don't think I necessarily have the skills or the initiative to like use them in the best way. They just don't pop in my mind to think to use them. I don't think I've used them since it came out. I think I tried to use them once and I couldn't wrap my head around it, babe. So yeah, neutral, no change occurred. However, for some people, I do think that they will have changed their outlook on life. The Sims Superstar, I'm going to put you in negative chemical changes, right? And this is a slow burner of a story. This is like the slow burn. The Sims Superstar. The Sims Superstar painted this idea of Hollywood to me. Like, I had an idea of Hollywood in my head, and it was entirely framed by the Sims Superstar and the catwalk and everything like that. And then I visited Hollywood, and it just reminded me of Middlesbrough in a weird way. A hot Middlesbrough. But it also reminded me of like Hollywood to me. Take Middlesbrough out of the equation, actually. Hollywood to me reminded me of, you know, when you go on holiday, like Spain or whatever, and you go out on a night and there's loads of people selling things and there's bright lights and stuff like that. That's what it reminded me of. Where I expected something like old Hollywood, which is purely my fault because I had not been before. And I also decided to shape my understanding of Hollywood on The Sims Superstar. Like 100% hold my hands up, but it still caused negative chemical changes. Absolutely goes without saying, The Sims making magic. I talk about it every single, you know what, I think I bring this up weekly actually, and I probably think about it daily. So it definitely changed my entire outlook on life. I remember seeing this in a PC market. You know what, it was in Middlesbrough Football Club, and it was kind of like a back car boot sale for PC stuff. And I remember seeing this. We didn't have like consistent internet connection or anything like that, so I never knew what the next Sims pack was. And I found out that that was the next Sims pack by being there, and like I think I lost my shit over it. Oh guys, I think I'm gonna cry because it's actually mean so much to me. Like the visceral response I had as soon as I locked eyes with this, and then the entire expansion pack just lived up to every single possible thing that I could have ever wanted out of an expansion pack. And it just, honestly, it changed the way that I look at it. I frame every single expansion pack on The Sims Making Magic because I'm forever chasing that feeling, and it was just absolutely so. Even the images just make me feel some type of way, guys. And honestly, you know what, if I died, I want to be buried with The Sims Making Magic. On my gravestone, I want put made magic, because I did I did, and it's thanks to this expansion pack. She's my world, and just looking at it, something about The Sims 1 specifically, and The Sims 1 Making Magic, like looking at the cover makes me feel sick to my stomach because I just want to be a kid again, and that makes me sad. I miss her. Anyway, moving on. You know what? Because like I could actually genuinely wind myself into like an actual. I am upset already. Yeah, moving on because she means so much to me. The Sims 4 Pastel Pop Kit. I'm going to put this in, change my entire outlook on life. Again, because we all know how fucking obsessed I am with The Sims, and like this has been an obsession since like some of my earliest memories. You know what? In fact, I can't remember a time when I didn't play The Sims, even in early childhood. Like I just can't remember not playing it. It's always been my go-to game. It's always been my escape. This game's always meant to the world to me, even when she fucks the world up with the hot tub. But even so, she's still like my first and my main special interest. She's just giving me, like, no matter how hard my life was, The Sims has always been there for me. And then being able to say, I think this was a real like you've made it moment with my Sims channel, and like it really helped me internalize that, like, oh, she means a lot to me. She means a lot to me. And when I die, I want to be buried with The Sims Making Magic and The Sims 4 Pastel Pop, but it'll have to be a download code. I think this might be the last one. The Sims 4 Eco Lifestyle. And not as a general expansion pack, because there are some parts of this expansion pack that I liked. The whole smog thing, having to make the entire world turn into smog and it just not working, has honestly caused me a genuinely negative physical and emotional response, to the point where now I just refuse to play with that aspect of the pack. Like, even if you said to me, oh, it'd be fun if you tried to like make things green, or like even if I played eco warrior type that only does the washing outside and stuff like that, I don't think I could interact with that aspect of it, because that was hard. That was really hard. Yeah, she did kind of break me a little bit. Like, I remember one of my titles from a video was I tried to break the Sims 4 world, but she broke me first or something. You broke me first, and that is very much true. I think that is every single thing that we have. I actually thought this list would be kind of short, but I have been recording for a while. I've had a lot of thoughts. Trip down memory lane. Oh, I don't want to get up. It's so cold. Oh, I don't want to show my... There we go. Thank you all very, very much for watching this video. I'm glad that me and my unhinged list of things. I do like my Captain America socks, actually, and my new slippers. My auntie gave me them, so now my tussie pegs are not cold. That is everything I have for you today. I love you all so much. Please let me know if you remember any of these as well, because some stuff is like going quite far back. Let me know. Also, please let me know about the Sims 2 exchange thing. Please, I beg of you. I will get on my knees and beg. I love you all so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, beach.